What's going on, y'all? It's about that time. Welcome back to the We Got Y'all podcast. I am your girl, Ray P, joined by my amazing, esteemed colleague, co host, real friend, and Rose.
Dragon Slayer. Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer, not a King Slayer, but a Dragon Slayer.
Oh,
Kyron Richardson, aka K Rich. What's up, friend?
not much, man. Good to see you. Good to be talking to you again. Of course. I was laughing the same as you just said it. Not King Slayer, man. Lou was on this Game of Thrones shit.
For
Lou was on
sure.
this Game of Thrones shit, man.
For
I'm really
sure.
excited to talk to you about this episode.
Yes. It was a doozy.
Penultimates, you know how I feel.
That's what I was gonna say. It was the penultimate episode for you, your favorite episodes typically of the seasons. Um, I watched this not at midnight on Friday because I was still circling Charlotte Airport, unable to land. But
Jeez.
but I did plus press play around 3 o'clock in the morning while I was diverted to Atlanta Friday and had to stay in the airport and stay up. So I watched it and I was like, oh shit,
They
what an episode.
they've turned into automatic midnights for me right now.
As
Like
they
at this
should
point,
always.
like they're and for all y'all listening, which thank you by the way. Thank you for tuning
Yes,
in and
thank you.
checking us out. I'm trying to be a strict 10-10-30 in the bed type of person. You know what I mean? Me and Rachel were just talking about the importance of rest. We're getting a lot of it this weekend. And I try to. It doesn't happen all the time, but if I can, I will fall asleep. And I'll fall asleep at the drop of a dime anyway. So
Mhm.
staying up to midnight is a big deal. I'm up Thursday nights waiting. This Thursday, I'll be doing the same.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. So I'll probably miss the midnight this Thursday because I'll be seeing Beyonce in Chicago.
Mm,
Um, but
Stunned. Stumble stone. You know what I'm
but
saying?
early Friday. Oh, shout out to my Ivy Park. If you're watching, and early Friday, I'll probably catch it on the way back to the airport or something. But I'm excited. I enjoyed this episode. It was full of lots of things. We got some answers to some questions and left just enough up for us to try to figure out and be excited for next week.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a second because they weave this web perfectly.
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
from a viewer, from a writer perspective to the viewers. Um, you and I, as we've been talking about all season, and anytime we really get on, we got y'all. Excuse me. We have a knack for figuring things out,
Yeah.
kind of seeing where things are leading and predicting things. I don't know how things are gonna unfold next week because the way Snap and Pops has got this set up,
Bruh.
like it's really foolproof. The way Marvin is kind of in too deep, like
Mm-hmm.
it's foolproof. Like we
Mm-hmm.
know everything's on the table, and I guess
Yeah,
that describes the episode title. It's
for
about that
sure.
time because it really is. Like there's no more games, no more hiding. All the cards on the table. How is this going to unfold? I have no
Yeah.
idea.
Something has to shake. I'm excited to see what that is. Again, you was right about some things. I was right about some things. We were wrong about some things,
Yeah.
but I'm excited. I'm ready to get into it. Again, shout out to all of the amazing cast, writers, directors, showrunners, key grips,
Yeah.
everybody involved because Raising Kanan, and I've said it once. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Is the best spinoff in the Powerverse, and the way they weave this together just to match your sentiments is really
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. It works. The writing, it works, even if some of the some of the accents get funky. It does not distract from the meat of the story and of the script and what we're seeing. So shout out to everybody involved. We love y'all. Shout out to Stars for keeping it going for the time being. And I'm ready for
Absolutely.
next week.
Absolutely. And we said it before earlier in this season. We know season 5 is coming. Stars announced that.
Yeah.
So we know we have more story to tell. There will be spoilers and explicit content this episode. And Rachel
Mhm.
just shouted out Stars. Get to the comments real quick. We've been getting some comments on YouTube. Just want to shout
Okay.
some people out. We're gonna start. We have let me make sure I say this right. Is it Malik Kamani Masai 3703?
Okay.
Comment saying, do what you got to do means different things to different people.
For sure.
Early felt this is what he has to do because the situation calls for it. There's no way Early can beat up a made person and live, so he had to kill him because the mob guy wasn't gonna pay. Or I mean, that might mean play. Definitely understand. I think we talked about that last episode with Early and just how everything had to play out. We'll talk about him some more this episode. The real Sean Breed, he commented, had two comments actually. One said, "Damn Early." The other one was he was on point about the cinematic aspect of this episode. I think that's when I was discussing the phenomenal cinematography in last week's episode. And then Lynn Vins, of course, 242. What's up, guys? I needed that week off. Been busy watching the playoffs, but looking forward to seeing what happens the rest of the season, which is going much too fast. We agree.
For sure.
Just started this, and we're already talking about the penultimate. So, Rachel, I mentioned episode 9 title It's About That Time, directed by Ben Siminoff, written by Brian Walker. Synopsis of the episode: Kanan, suspicious of Rock's involvement, investigates Crystal's disappearance. Rock faces fallout from Unique's retaliation and Marvin's mistake. Jukebox revisits her past, and Lou embraces his new path. We kind of discussed our opening thoughts when we started this episode. What do you want to kick it off with this episode? Because there's a ton of things that happened and transpired. Man, they laid this out perfectly.
They really did. In the lowest of keys, I would like to start with snaps and pop.
Okay. Let's talk about snaps and pop.
Because the show opens with Crystal. We know last week she was essentially kidnapped by the police off the bus going into Delaware. She is locked in a cave, in a dungeon somewhere, some abandoned building, definitely giving hostage, chained up, dirty, drugged. Did you watch Euphoria?
Yeah.
It reminded me of Euphoria when Rue owed the drug lady all that money, and she had her doped up, and we see Pop come in, oh baby, they got you doped up. So there's no telling what the hell was happening to Crystal while she was chained up and doped up. I mean, I'm sure we could sort of gauge. We saw the blood, we saw the bruises. So it was no walk in the park, to say the least. So Pop takes her upstairs, gets her semi cleaned up, and is trying to play good cop, trying to play I'm a girl's girl. We got to get the answers. I'm going to try to nurture you because I know you're in an altered mental state. I know you've been kidnapped, even though I'm behind it. And Crystal was telling her, again, Crystal, much like Kanan, is giving Snaps and Pop what they want to hear. I don't know who killed Famous. Kanan thinks it was his mother. There's nobody else. And that's all she needed to hear. Like, they really don't think that we're behind it. And again, how could you? They have been so good at covering their traps throughout this season that I truly, had we not known that the officers who kidnapped Crystal were the same officers on their payroll, I still would not have been able to put them behind Crystal's disappearance either. And unfortunately, maybe Rock would have gotten the blame for that, like, which essentially we'll see happen later in the episode with Kanan, and I'm assuming next week too, Pop shoot the shit out of Crystal.
Without regard.
With absolutely no regard. I thought that Crystal was Sean's mother. Unfortunately, we learned that she is not. This was it for her. So
I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting Crystal to just go out like that.
Not at all. Not at all. And again, to your point a few weeks ago, shouts out to the monologues. When you think about people getting hurt, Crystal did not do shit. She wasn't involved. She didn't make a run. She didn't find a client. She did nothing but be with her man in that house. Tell him what she thought was up, what she thought was wrong or right. If she thought somebody was sketchy, see, um, she did nothing. And you a casualty because you are guilty by association. You get
Yeah,
caught up in the bullshit when you're connected, and it's so unfortunate. Which is why Juke is where she is, fucking
yeah,
stuck.
yeah. Um, yeah, that's fucked up about Crystal, man.
Yeah,
I wasn't
it
expecting it.
is.
Pop
It
rocker
is.
shit. Like you said, as soon as I hear who we can pin this on, he already believes it. But like we're just gonna use
Easy.
our influence to weigh on it because once again, Kanan's a child.
Mhm.
We know that he's a child, and we can get this off. Um, Snap and Pop also get a visit from Unique this episode.
Yeah.
Um, and also easily just kind of put that into Kanan's head. And I just
Mhm.
can't. We'll talk about. I'll save that. I'll save my thoughts when we get to Kanan.
Okay.
So, because Kanan, like Marvin said, man, he needs the belt.
Yeah,
He
that's it. I
needs
was
the
gonna
belt,
go to
bro.
Canaan next.
All
So
right, man. Let's go ahead and get into it.
okay. The other thing though, in regards to Snap and Pop, as we shift to Canaan, they do plant the seed or water the seed, not even plant because it's already there. The seed that Rock is the one who is behind Famous's death. And
Yeah,
that's all Kanan needed, was that. To your point, Kanan needs his ass kicked. I think I've said it for the last 4 episodes at least. I am sick of him in this vendetta against his mother. It's Happy Mother's Day, everybody,
Happy Mother's Day, everyone. For real. Yeah, yeah.
to all the mothers, godmothers, aunties, women who stand in the gap. Shout out to y'all, and you're welcome.
Straight up. Straight up.
But yeah, fucking Kanan. So the show after the crystal of it all, Kanan and Juke are sitting down to lunch, and Kanan is essentially frantic because he doesn't know where Crystal is. She's on the phone. He didn't make it. She didn't make it to Delaware, and so I need to know what the fuck is going on with her. And Juke is kind of cool about it. She like, you don't know, like it could be anything. Juke blindsides Kanan, something we haven't seen her do before, by inviting Rock to
Mm-hmm.
this meeting, to this lunch, which was commendable for me. Even though I kind of side-eyed Juke last week in regards to Rocky, she got that same side eye again, even though she was right in what she said to Rock. You worried about
It's their delivery.
it's the delivery.
Yeah.
Rock tells Kanan, I didn't have shit to do with none of that. I didn't have shit to do with fame. What are you thinking? I feel like I know you're gonna do some bullshit. Crystal, your little girlfriend came to see me, which, again, Kanan immediately jumped to the conclusion that Rock has something to do with her disappearance, or she got caught up because of Rock. I can't for the life of me, other than naivete, other than Kanan being a child, you think everything goes back to Rock. You don't think that you've planted your own seeds of bad karma in the things that you do. Everything is on your mama. So I appreciated Rock when she was like, "You're so lucky that you have me to blame everything on." And she's absolutely right.
Not only that, but she also told him, Scrap, you want to bring up Scrap, you want to bring up D Wiz. I told you that's your doing.
Yep.
That's me cleaning up your mess. You brought
Yeah.
that on. I wouldn't have had to do that if it wasn't for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Fame is completely different. Fame is like family. She was almost appalled that he was even
Yeah.
asking. Like, are you questioning me? Like, I know what he and Juke tried to clean it up like he ain't saying nothing. Like, I know what he's saying. I know
Mm-hmm.
what he's implying by it. Like the fact that you thought I've killed Famous is crazy. So I appreciate Rock standing up and making sure Kanan knew, like, bruh, you only got so many more times to talk to me like you're crazy.
For sure.
And that's kind of the way he went about it. I'm happy that Juke did call Rock because maybe a little bit of that was for Juke herself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now that you planting the idea, I don't believe Rock could do that, but let's see.
I need to see too.
Yeah, because maybe not even off Rock and what she says, but how you act, Kanan. Like if you're that emotional by this individual that you can't think clearly, that's always going to get you in trouble. And we see it right now with Snapping Pops. The fact that, and we know they have an experience in laying low.
Yeah.
And kind of flying under the radar. But I kind of said it about Unique earlier this season. Like nobody's just kind of, you got to be a scientist with this shit. You know what I mean? Like really question, does this happen? Like, is this possible? It sounds crazy, but is it possible?
Yeah.
And maybe we can start, like the whole thing with trying to find Crystal, right? I'm saying the whole time, like, man, talk to somebody and see if anybody saw anything at the bus station or maybe anybody on the bus. Find a bus driver, something. Will that happen? I don't know. But you just want it to happen throughout these moments because it tells so much. I don't want nobody getting fucked up over Snapping Pops, but it's gonna happen.
I don't think they make it to the end of the next episode.
Who, Snapping Pop?
Yeah.
They shouldn't.
Or one, if not both.
They shouldn't. They should be gone next episode.
If they make it into season 5, I would be very surprised, and it must be the mission for the Thomas family essentially to take them out.
Yeah, because Marvin gonna die. But anyway.
Damn it, man.
Moving on with Kanan though.
Yeah, go ahead.
So just him throughout this episode, he's on the warpath to find out what happened to Crystal.
For sure.
And we didn't even talk about the moment when Rock says the only reason I'm here is because of Crystal. Your little girlfriend, she came up and he puts the dots on like, yo, when she pull up, like when did she see you? So now he kind of knows, and I'm glad she was able to tell him, like, why would I even tell you about that if you think I had something to do with it?
Yeah.
And once again, going back to Kanan eating his ass whoops, even if you didn't do it directly, it's probably some of your bullshit. Like, bro, you got it. Now all right, relax.
You're doing too much.
You're doing way too much. But he's looking for her, and we know, I guess he knows from Crystal that her mom's boyfriend works at, he's a custodian somewhere. I don't know if that's a school or whatever the case may be. He pulls up and kind of sneers down and puts his nose down at Kanan. Like, you're a street dealer, the drug dude. And Kanan punches him, lets him know, like, I heard Crystal told me you be creeping up. You know, some bullshit, right? Starts whooping his ass, stomping him, the whole nine. How you like my boot pushing up on you, nigga? Hey, Makai Curtis, man. Shout out to Makai Curtis because he really killing this. Nod your fucking head before my Tims get back to work. All of the quotables he had in this scene. But really whooping this dude's ass. But the funniest part about that whole moment is one of the most dickheadish things I've ever seen. You just whooped this man's ass and you looked at that damn mop bucket and just put it all over the ground. Like, bro, you petty as hell and you evil. Like, why? But they really doing it's those things. Those are the small things that separate Kanan from any other. Yeah. Like, he's just pure evil. Like the Kanan we know and learn in power. It started somewhere. You see this shit. And he looking for his girl. Y'all got me fucked up.
For sure.
I'm on a warpath for everything. And then, of course, him pulling up on Unique, Rachel.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and talk about it. He wants to find out, and at this point, he's asking anybody, friendly or not, what's going on with Crystal. The whole shop has their guns drawn on him.
Yeah.
Unique spins it. So I've been waiting on you to come pay me a visit. Welcome. We see them out back and him telling Kanan, listen, my beef was with Rock. Unless y'all partners, we good. If y'all are partners, then you should watch your back too. You need to be weary of Rock. Everybody around Rock getting dropped. The Chinese restaurant people, Crystal, OC.
Showed his hand with OC.
Hopefully Kanan caught that.
Yeah.
We'll see. He cleaned it up, but not well enough.
Yeah.
Like, how you know about OC? Everybody know about OC. We just know she around your people. Kanan also tells Ronnie that, or excuse me, tells, well, I was about to say Joey Badass, tells Unique that, yeah, I dropped Ronnie. That
Yeah.
was me. He needed to be checked, and I checked him, and I'll do that shit again.
And I do that shit again.
We see some type of union, or yeah, some type of union, because Unique teases the idea, why don't we join forces? And Kanan's like, nigga, you just trying to get at my mom's, but that's cool, but it's more than that. You got a name, you got a rep, and we see everybody talking about Kanan in this way. We like you. You're smart. Come from a good bloodline. Almost like some Game of Thrones shits, like we said earlier. Your rep, you about your business. Like everybody that comes in contact, Snapping Pops, Unique, they're saying that about Kanan. What was your whole thought on this whole Unique scene? Kanan and them potentially teaming up, and we know from last week, Rocka's got
eyes everywhere.
So she sees her son coming out.
You know, excuse me, I appreciate Kanan going 2-step to Unique. I do. Again, desperate times call for desperate measures. Kanan is a lot of things. Obviously, way too brash, but he's not scary. He's not scared of shit, which can be to your detriment. But he's not afraid. And I do appreciate that about him. So he goes in. I don't give a fuck. I'm coming in here to ask about my girl. I don't care about that money. Side eye. I don't care about you hitting the spots, none of that. But I'm looking for my girl. Like, that's what the fuck I care about. And the reality is, Unique can say he don't have a beef with Kanan, but you was stealing from me. So we do have a beef. You can talk all of that shit, but you and OC took my whole fucking stash.
He don't know that.
Yeah, but Unique know that. Motherfucker, you do feel some kind of way. Like, yeah, you got to get your bread, but come on, dog.
Oh, yeah, he playing Kanan.
You're playing Kanan. And so for everybody to think Kanan is so grand, and he is, the reality is he is still a fucking kid and doesn't quite know nearly as much as he thinks he does. And I've said that last week and probably the week before. It's easy to see watching all of these adults manipulate Kanan makes it clear again how Ghost was able to get this business from up under Kanan. Very easy, because he doesn't listen. He thinks he knows more than what he does. He doesn't really learn from experience. He like a bull in a china shop. He just doing shit, trying to make a name for him. I'm not scared. So even if I make a misstep, it is what it is. Like, I guess I gotta live with it. If even that, because the reality is my mama do be cleaning my messes up. What the fuck can you do? It's unfortunate, because I was gonna lie and say I like Kanan, but I don't. I want to like Kanan. I want to like him. I wanted him to be able to become successful, this and the third, but
he's
his own worst enemy in the highest of keys.
Yeah, he's one of those anti-heroes. I don't even know if he qualifies as an anti-hero, but he's more on the Walter White, Breaking Bad side of things than Tony Soprano. I was just having a conversation about this where you get and understand the appeal of Tony. The whole premise was these are awful human beings, terrible people, right? But you get the appeal and everything about Tony Soprano. You would have a drink with Tony Soprano. Right? You would hang out with him because he's got that type of personality. You understand if one of his friends that wasn't in that life, you found out they were his friends, and knowing all the bad shit Tony does, you would still understand it. Like, all right, I get why you still cool with him. Versus Walter White and Kanan are just there's no real redeemable qualities about them. Nothing that you really like. Like, yeah, y'all might be good at doing bad shit, but that's really about it. And the way y'all do some shit might be a little bit cold to watch, but outside of that, like, y'all really ain't shit. Y'all just awful human beings without the extra fluff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like they fall on the side of why the fuck are you hanging with that nigga?
Mm-hmm.
Versus I understand why you hanging with him. Why are you hanging? Man, stay the fuck away from him, bro. That nigga weird. Like and Kanan and Walter be on some weird shit. And Kanan
Yeah.
just Juke is just I wish Juke used more of her influence on Kanan.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only one that really can change his mind and change his vision. If she really wanted to push it and have her thinking that it wasn't rock, she could do that.
She could. Mm-hmm.
But she's letting that shit rock. No pun.
Why do you think that is?
I think that Juke is caught up in her own shit and doesn't want to put. I think Juke's at a point where she doesn't want to put anyone else's weight on her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like her life is already enough, and she's
Okay.
trying to figure out a ton of shit. And I don't want to get in the middle of y'all drama because it's complicated. And I respect the fact that it's complicated. As someone who has a complicated relationship with her parents,
Yeah.
like I'm not going to get in the middle and try to play hero because I do have a relationship with both of y'all. Maybe if she didn't have a relationship with one, she lean a little bit more like, hey man, do what you can, but it's best to be neutral. I don't
Yeah.
think she wants to show favorites. That's the one thing I will say about Juke. She gonna keep it a buck with you no matter what
No
side.
matter what.
If you ask her for honesty, she's gonna give you the honesty, right or wrong.
Okay.
And I think it's easier for her just to be out of it.
Yeah.
So we'll
Okay.
see. But I wish he recognized how serious this is. That type of accusation, you got to step in. You
For
think your
sure.
mom killed Fame? Like, come on, bro.
For sure. What did you think of Kanan telling Unique that I put down your brother that needed to be checked?
I think that goes to a kid
Mm-hmm.
who is running off pure emotion. All he thinks about is Crystal's missing, and I'm seeing red. And I came here because you might know something or you might have done something. And anybody who I interact with, I want to make sure they know I'm not afraid of shit. Like I'm not afraid to put down your brother, who's supposed to be the big bad bully man around the block. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
care about none of that. If it comes to it, I'm pushing that button and it's go time. And I think that was his way of telling them. Like that's pretty much it. Like if I got to do the same shit to you, that's what it's gonna be. No
Yeah.
different than how Unique told him. If you with Rock,
It
nigga,
is
it's up.
what it is. Yeah. Okay. So now we've heard, Unique has heard from the horse's mouth who put his brother down that he didn't have love for in the end, which, your brother tried to whip your ass and essentially steal your business. So maybe you didn't have love for him like that in the end. Having heard that it was Kanan, and Kanan having heard that Kanan does not work with Rock other than getting his product, what does this do for Unique's revenge story against Rock for killing Ronnie and trying to steal his business and trying to kill him, this and the third?
Well, just like Kanan, Unique is at a point where he's blaming everything bad on Rock. We've seen that earlier in this entire season. So he's heard this might be his fourth time here, and this one the most direct. Like nigga, that was me. Unique doesn't care. Like
At all.
somehow, some way, Rock has something to do with this. The
Yeah.
same way Kanan thinks the same with Crystal, Fame, whoever. Somehow,
Mhm.
some way, you connected. We just hate you that much.
I feel
And
bad for my girl, man.
yeah, because okay, there's a certain bit of responsibility, but like Rock told Kanan, like you did a lot of this shit too. You got
Mhm.
to own up to your shit. I'm not cleaning up your mess anymore. You got to own that.
Yeah.
Both of them had messes that they made. When
Mhm.
I say both, I mean Unique and Kanan. So it is pretty rough for her, but I don't know. The missing piece in all of this is neither one of them can really go all the way there without the green light from New York or New Jersey. The
Yeah.
Italians are still kind of running this entire war. We see Unique, we pull up on Phil, and Phil is
Mhm.
upset. Like, I haven't heard it directly, but I know that was you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm not going, in his words, I'm not going to the mattresses with New York over your ghetto bullshit.
Crazy.
Wow. He meant that shit. Was happy to tell him. They both know we can't really go all the way there.
Mhm.
And Rock even said it when she was talking to Marvin. He's
I'm
trying to
sick of
pull me into a war,
it. Mhm.
and it's about to work.
It's not only is it about to work, I thought you were gonna say, I'm sick of having to go to these rigatoni motherfuckers for permission to move.
Yeah,
However, I need to.
I have thoughts on that. We'll talk about that towards the end. I'm assuming at the end is when we'll talk about the final scene of this episode
Okay.
and kind of what that might lead to. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna save a little bit of that for there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was unique, pretty much. What do you want to talk about next?
Um, let's let's
What
hit
about
Juke.
Juke?
We
All the way
see each
together.
other. Like I said, Juke orchestrates the meeting with Rock and Kanan. But beyond that, and her not stepping up the way that she needed to, I do appreciate her saying, you worried about winning when you should be worried about losing them. And that is true. That was a bar. Um, Rock was taken aback by that, but Juke is right, and essentially, even though I too am sick of Kanan's mouth,
Yeah.
you are losing your son.
I just want to say, second week in a row,
Mm-hmm.
someone close to Kanan, who's not Rock, who's a woman,
Mm-hmm.
told Rock something like that. And she, in the second week in a row, Rock looking like she knows they're right.
They are
Saying something. Something's going to happen in this last episode where I don't know what it is, but we'll see. I did appreciate that with Juke as well.
I did. I think Rock is gonna have to step in. She's gonna have to save Kanan from something with Snap and Pop.
I don't know. I'm worried. I'm not worried about Rock, but I'm more concerned that Kanan's going to be after Rock. I don't know. Somebody's going to put this together, and it's not going to be Kanan.
Yeah.
It might be Juke. What I'm hoping that while we're on Juke, what I'm hoping that happens is that Kanan goes to Juke and says that Bonnie and Clyde, as they call them,
Yeah.
Told me that it was Rock. They confirmed that it was Rock, and I hope that's when Juke can get her smarts out and say, "Hold on,
Let's be fucking for real."
yeah, does this benefit them anyway for them to tell you this? How do we know it wasn't them that did it? I don't know. I don't know how that's going to come about, but hopefully Juke comes to play. Comes to play when it comes to that.
For sure.
I will say this: we asked about Mara,
Mm-hmm.
and if we were going to see Mara again.
Here she
we
is.
did. They out in the park. I love when we get like green, grass, trees,
not the concrete jungle.
Everything looked all right, man. Juke
Yeah.
is walking with Mara. Mara's talking about a new love interest that she has, how happy she is, and I called you because there's a detective that pulled up on me. And the crazy thing was, the nigga wasn't even asking me questions. He just was telling me about you.
Crazy.
Garcia is not going away anytime soon. Multiple times, not only this episode, but the past few weeks, we've seen Garcia pull up on Juke. We'll talk about Aisha, but he pulled up on that as well. Juke's demeanor changes completely. Do you think, and I don't think they're ever going to address this again, I don't know if we see Mara past this, especially since Garcia and Juke maybe have found some kind of mutual understanding.
Yeah.
Do you think all of this stuff that was told to Mara from Garcia makes her believe that she killed Aaron?
Ooh. Maybe. Or at least couple that with, remember, old girl from the club that Juke slutted out. Essentially, she put her gun on the, I was going to say the nightstand, on the sink. We haven't seen Juke back in that club, but now that Mara is free to celebrate, essentially, now that her husband is dead, free to kind of just move about, maybe she goes back to that club and homegirl, they have an organic conversation like, yo, Juke, da 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 da, and she waters the seed that Garcia has planted, even though Mara sort of moved on to the conversation about this girl that's just for her. Aside from the Garcia of it all, Did you think that Juke was at all jealous of Mara's new friend?
Um, a little bit.
A
I think.
little
Well, I
bit.
don't know if it was. Yes, jealous. That's the correct word. In what way is what I'm trying to figure out, because I don't know if it's as like I want Mara, but I don't want to hear this praise for this chick that, don't you know, I took care of a big ass problem for you.
I put somebody down for you, bitch.
Yeah, like I want to like give me a little bit more acknowledgement, a little bit. Fuck her. Like talk about
Yeah.
me for a second. I think that might be what she's feeling, but it is what it is. I mean, she does like Mara. I
Yeah.
just don't know in what way. I think if she had the opportunity, she would slut her out too.
I don't think she would slut her out because I think she actually likes her. I
Mm,
think there is a genuine concern beyond just being a friendly, cooler older lady. I think that there is like a little bit of a crush there or something. And I thought Mara may have felt the same way. Like maybe yes, I'm just being friendly. I'm not trying to groom you into this life, but I do want to make you comfortable. I'm intrigued by you, this, that, and the third. Um, Maybe not the level of jealousy that Juke and Aisha were experiencing, but there was a little something up under it because even beyond or before we even get to the Garcia of it all, when Mara is talking about this new woman, we see Juke's body language start to shift. You know what I'm saying? So then you throw the Garcia on there, and now I'm totally disengaged or whatever the fuck you talking about. Like, okay. Anyways, back to that, you know.
right.
So I would be intrigued. Maybe we see her next week, maybe not. But again, I do still have in the back of my mind, old girl from the club. Telling Mara or somebody else, one of the other girls in their sister circle, about Juke and the gun, who's heard this story now from Mara, who's also heard the story from Mara and the detective, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Just a big game of telephone that ends up happening in regards to um Juke and her nine.
9 millimeter,
Yeah.
9 millimeter killer. Um, yeah. Let's talk about Aisha.
Let's talk about Aisha pulling up on what,
Pulling
fall
up on
break?
Juke. I was thinking about Aisha like not too long ago, and I was like, oh, okay, Aisha must be gone.
Yeah.
Not so fast. A sweet moment. I like
Mm-hmm.
seeing these moments from Juke
Mm-hmm.
when we get an idea of someone who genuinely loves her and she loves them back.
Yeah.
However, you can't help but notice a difference between this encounter versus the encounter early in the season when Juke was trying to find her way right after she went
Yeah.
AWOL
Yeah.
and pulled up on her at Clark. Yeah, it's cool to have you here. Yeah, it's cool to spend some time with you, but a lot has changed since I've
For
last
sure.
seen you.
For sure.
And I hear you ask me about my new life and exploring and kind of seeing who I am. But you sound like your parents to me because what I've learned is that I am a lot like my family. And that ain't so bad. Which Aisha is like, what the fuck has Duke
Yeah.
been up to since I've been going?
It's a clear disappointment in Aisha's face to know that okay, you were taking classes, you were doing some things. You said you wanted to get out of New York, get away from your parents or your family and their bullshit. And you down here bullshit. I obviously not gonna get anecdotal, but there is a heartbreak, quote unquote, in realizing not only do you got to leave somebody where the fuck you found them at, but also this same person that you care about, them not really seeing themselves for who they actually are, seeing the potential that you see in them, and them just kind of being stuck. That is an additional heartbreak. And it's like, damn, there is so much light in you, and there's so much that you could be doing. You are so great. And Aisha has told her this from the inception of their friendship, like, you are great, you are so much more than this. You were the best singer, best dancer, you can fight, bitch. You know a little bit about everything. Like, there's nothing you can't do. So to see you sitting here stuck, sounding like doing some bullshit, that's heartbreaking for me. That makes me sad.
Yeah, and it's sad, and that's probably the first emotion, which is why the scenes probably focus on that. But
Mm-hmm.
another emotion is just the disappointment of it and the
For
frustration of
sure.
it.
For sure.
Frustration more than anything, because it's hard to see someone with all types of talent and then
Mm-hmm.
just shout out to Bronx Tale. Saddest thing in the world is a waste of talent. That's some real shit.
I was about to say, what happened to a dream deferred?
The saddest thing in the world is wasted talent. And Juke,
For sure.
damn, you talented as fuck, and you about to be on some bullshit. And
Not about to be on
you
some
are on some
bullshit.
bullshit. And I can't. Garcia told her, I got a
Yeah.
feeling you're gonna break that promise.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, we ain't gonna see Aisha no more. Like
Yeah.
Aisha, our lives don't mesh anymore. They don't go together. And it's so realistic too, especially at that age. We've been there where 19, 20,
For
you got
sure.
that, you might have moved on or going to college and you still got that old thing back home or certain people back home. And then there's a moment where you realize like, oh, we this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Like we're completely we're at that fork in the road, and it's very clear where each one of us is going.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. And shout out to Aisha. You can always, I think all of us have loved someone where I love them, but I don't fuck with them.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like there's no relationship there. There's no hate there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way we can coexist
Yeah.
based off the lives that we live. So, um, you know, them being jealous of each other, yeah, cool. But I don't see anything coming from it. I just think that it's just I'm too far going, and I'm in the middle of some shit right now.
Yeah. Yeah, just a natural feeling of jealousy, because you want your person to always kind of be yours, this, second, and third. And again, these other people or person, this Morehouse man that Aisha is seeing, that's gonna be a doctor. Again,
From your city.
from your
From your
shout
city, Rachel.
out, shout out to New Orleans. Shout out to the hot boys. What's up, friends? But anyways, he's from New Orleans. He's studying to be a doctor. We haven't even, maybe we grazed the topic of class, even between Aisha and Juke, but you consider this is now somebody on the same track as Aisha. It's nothing. I can't be dating somebody that's trying to be a doctor and I come back and you still like stealing clothes, or now even worse, jacking people, being violent, killing. It's sad that this is the end for them. And it just kind of reminded me, this weekend we talked about getting a lot of rest. And I ended up binging Forever on Netflix.
Okay.
Mara Braca Kills
Yeah.
youth driven show, and it was so cute. It was a couple things, I mean, we can talk about it off, that I didn't particularly care for, but it was really good. And when you think about just that young love, and when y'all got to get the fuck away from each other, even if you don't want to, even if it is the hard thing, as to which I think that wasn't Juke, knowing that she wasn't gonna call Aisha when she got home, whether Garcia showed up or not. Like, that is the hard thing, because our lives are moving in such different directions at this point. It's really not even fair to keep you at bay in such a way, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well said.
Is Garcia dirty or what?
No, I think he is a cop that doesn't mind. I think he's like Howard. I think he just doesn't mind coloring out the lines. Well, I say he's like Howard. Howard was dirty. Um,
Was he?
Howard was dirty.
Was he?
Not he didn't he didn't
He
want to
was
be dirty.
inappropriate.
He was made dirty. He did dirty things, which in turn makes you dirty.
What did he do? Protect his son?
Yeah, but yeah, that's one way of looking at it, Rachel.
Isn't
Which is
that what
why
a father would do?
which is why we don't look at it as dirty, but he is dirty. If you're a cop, if you're a cop, he's dirty. If you're black, he's looking out for his son. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
two things can be true.
for sure. For
Um,
sure.
or I mean, I don't know what the difference is between being dirty and doing dirty things. Like, I don't know where that fine line gets crossed. I would say if you had to choose between the two, he was just someone who did dirty things. I don't think he
Yeah.
was, even though he was, you know.
I mean, he put Shannon down. I guess that would be dirty. But again, for the protection of his son and his
I mean,
family.
yeah. I mean, listen. There's the argument that you can make about Howard that everything he did that was dirty was to protect Kanan.
Yeah.
How Kanan got here, that's dirty too.
Dirty.
So I'm just saying.
Dirty.
As we move on, I was surprised that Juke, when it was time to find out if anybody knew anything about Crystal, Juke said she has an idea, but it's complicated. Kanan said, "Nigga, I don't care what it is. If you can help, help." I'm surprised that she reached out to Garcia, knowing that this means you owe me one. But we know Juke ends up being a cop. We've seen her do this with Burke.
Mm-hmm.
One of those, like, I'll give you this one, or you do something for me. Now I owe you one.
Yeah.
And I'll cash in at some point. I don't know. I don't know if this is the way in for her and where she sees the comfort. Were you surprised that she put herself at risk with Garcia in order to get information about Crystal? Or do you think she might have looked at it as this is inevitable? Like, Garcia's not going away.
Exactly
So I
that.
might as well get ahead of it and
Exactly
use it
that.
to my advantage.
Exactly that.
Okay.
And to your immediate point, she was giving Shannon Burke breadcrumbs of information. She was answering some questions, closing some gaps for Shannon. And Garcia said that. Burke said, "You said XYZ." You know what I'm saying? So there's that element of, I don't actually hate working with the cops. I just would hate for somebody to see me telling y'all some shit. That's number one. Number two, even though Juke is grown and she's stone cold Juke, this, that, and the third, you still a kid, 19. You know what I'm saying? 18,
Yeah.
19. Everybody disappearing around Kanan, one could only assume that I too am on somebody's radar and somebody's target list, because not only am I close to Kanan, I'm also related to Rock. My father is also Marvin Thomas. I already got pulled into my own family's bullshit because of whatever y'all have going on, and I was completely uninvolved at that current time in the Thomas way of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's that. There is the closeness of she and Kanan in wanting to help stop the suffering of Kanan, wanting to help him get an answer. And if it's for Hugh, for my brother, by any means necessary, if I got to end, even if it's uncomfortable, I'ma figure it out. And the reality is police, but we know Rock got police on payroll, Snap and Pop got police on payroll. Maybe talking to them niggas ain't so bad. Everybody say fuck 12, this and the third, but it's a lot of niggas talking to the police for whatever reason, you know?
You need them.
You
You
need
need
them.
that. I mean, better with them than without them. Just for information purposes, which hopefully that comes into the fold next
Mhm.
week. Um, we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Maybe Garcia has some information about what really might have happened to Crystal. He did say there were no leads, but who knows? Maybe he can find out something, connect the dots a little bit further for Juke in turn to tell Kanan that it wasn't Rock. I don't want some shit to happen to Rock at this point because Kanan about to go after it.
Yeah, but I also, you just put in my head, I hope nothing happens to Garcia. Dare I say, I hope nothing happens to Garcia if he gets to digging into this Jane Doe that was found.
I think he'll be all right.
He might
I think he'll be all right.
he might be some tracks that need to be covered up his damn self.
That'd be too, man. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. We'll see. I think Garcia's gonna be around for a little while.
Okay.
Um, there's gonna be a little Juke Garcia connection, unless Juke is the one that I don't listen. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to go down that path. So we really have kind of a blend
Hmm.
to finish things out. I guess Lou and Rock can be their own thing. Marvin and Rock and Stefano can be their own thing, and then obviously we have the unique and Rock of it at the end of the episode. So um, let's talk about Marvin.
Marvin.
Yeah, let's talk about Marvin. So one of my favorite scenes of the episode, Rachel,
Okay.
early pulling up on Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a we always say there's a Jay-Z line for everything. There's a song called Trouble,
Always. Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Come, and Jay-Z has a line that says, I can only view little niggas like little niggas. And that's exactly what Marvin did to Early. Like, you are a little nigga to me because you pulling up on me, huffing and puffing, chest all out.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, we ain't gonna, me and my family gonna take lightly what you did to Londell. Nigga, Londell got enemies. I don't know what you're talking about, condolences. Anybody could have put him down. But since you in my face talking reckless, let's say I did put that motherfucker down. What you gonna do
Yeah.
about it? Exactly, nigga, nothing.
Ugh,
Sitting here with your fist ball, not doing shit.
not the Arthur meme.
Hey, nigga, yeah, the Arkham meme, nigga, that's all you gonna do. You gonna sit here and you're about to. You ain't
Yeah,
about to do shit, man. I just thought that was an incredible scene for me personally because Marvin is telling them I'm really like that, and you don't live the life that I live.
for
So for
sure.
you to even step, you got to make sure that you're really about it. Because if it was like that, if I'm Marvin, I'm looking at if it was like that, this isn't how you would approach it.
Yeah, you would have
Because
put
your
me down.
people, yeah, you be coming with bullets. You wouldn't come
Mhm.
up here just to tell me that you upset and you about to take me out. Nah, nigga. Squeeze first, ask questions last. We don't do none of that. So it remind me of that Birdman Breakfast Club. I almost pulled up on you another way. That'd been too gangster. Like, that's why you should have pulled up on Marvin, but you ain't about that. So you got to
We're
figure
not
it out.
about that. And Marvin told him he wasn't gonna do shit. And maybe he wasn't because Early is not about that particular life. But what Early did do was go step to Stefano. I might not be able to touch you. I might be a little bit scary, but I'm gonna go talk to some niggas that's not afraid to touch you. And I already told both of us that.
What did you think about that move of him going to Stefano?
Not only does Early want revenge, Early also wants some form of protection. Because here's the reality: you showed your hand when you pulled up on Marvin. I've got to do something, or I've got to tell somebody else. Because again, me and my peoples ain't did shit. Me and my people should have rolled over here spraying bullets if that is the case. Let me go talk to the niggas that's not afraid to slice and dice some people up or put some weaponry behind that. You already told me if something goes left, Marvin is who vouched for me. Stefano already said it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna cover my own ass. I'm gonna go talk to the big boss because Stefano didn't fire Early.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you ain't told him what happened. So now I have the benefit of creating the narrative, telling the story however I want to tell the story, because take care of it means different things to different people, to uh the first commenter's point. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
That doesn't mean kill the nigga. Don't gamble, don't sell to him anymore. Let the 5 families know. Let Stefano know. You know what I'm saying? There are other ways to take care of it other than putting that nigga down. So this is me covering my ass
Some balls. I
and
will
getting
say
you
that.
up out of here.
Some balls. Because I guess we kind of knew it from their conversation. Because he told him, matter of factly, like, nigga, this is
Yeah.
on you as much as it's on me. I don't
Yeah.
think Early ever looked at it as his problem.
Never.
I looked
Never.
at it as Marvin told me what to do when I came. I came to Marvin
Mm-hmm.
with the problem.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he told me. This is what I did.
Yeah.
I asked permission before I went ahead and did something. And Stefano was at that meeting with Rock
Uh-huh.
and Marvin,
Mm-hmm.
asking Marvin little things like, yeah, what do you think, Marvin? You know what I
You
mean?
know
You
about
seem to
making
know
food
some.
on your own.
Exactly.
I told you that nigga knew even before Early said something. Stefano ass knew, or at least had an inclination.
As soon as Early came,
Mm-hmm.
somebody wants an audience with you. He sees Early. I want to talk to you about Marvin Thomas. Stefano had to look on his face like, well,
Yep.
I knew this was
That's
coming.
it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Crazy, man. Crazy. Um, Outside of the whole Stefano of it, we see a personal matter that
Mm-hmm.
Marvin wants to tend to. He's looking for Amber
Yeah.
and is going by the school. She hasn't been there for quite some time. She's been sick. Parents keep
Mm-hmm.
calling in. She's got a cold. He ends up paying the security guard to get an address so he can find out what's up with Amber.
Mm-hmm.
Pulls up to the crib, actually goes about it. And this is the two sides of Marvin.
Yeah.
Some things he handles very well, other things not so much. And he does it twice in the same scene. Right? You see both instances in one scene where,
Yeah.
okay, I know what I'm doing is I don't want to go against the grain and say anything's wrong with Amber. So I'm going to come and ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to disrespect me. I'm going to do my breathing exercises. I'm
Yeah.
even going to leave when you tell me to leave. But as soon as I hear Amber scream Uncle Marvin, I'm about it. Bust through. Did Marvin have to kill them people? No, you didn't.
Oh. Why didn't he?
It's cool to kill him. I'm not saying that. Well, I don't want to say cool. That might not be the right word. But I understand him killing them. I get it. I'm not saying he was in the wrong. What I'm saying is, do you really need to bring that kind of heat when you can just call the authorities and just let them know what's going on? Like, Marvin, you can take care of both of them. Like, do you need to make a bigger mess or cause more shit than what's already there? And telling this little girl, I'm gonna come back when the dust settles. Like, you're just leaving too much up for grabs right now. Like, just
Yes.
I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's wrong in doing so. I wasn't upset. I wasn't yelling at the screen when Marvin shot them. I get it. But at the same time, there was no plan after it. Like, you got these kids in here.
Marvin ain't never had a plan. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, he told them people his name. He
Did he?
told them, yes, he said, my name is Marvin Thomas. I was friends with the family. I'm a friend of their father. I'm looking for them
Yeah.
for Amber. When Amber starts to scream for him, when Marvin is going to leave, he busts through the door, kicking ass. Cool. Homeboy comes back with like a fucking lead pipe. Am I gonna let you beat me with that? Or am I gonna take your ass the fuck out?
Maybe I underestimated dude because I was thinking like, man, I'm punching you, I'm beating you up, shoot you in the knee or something.
Just like Mara's husband.
Okay.
Sometimes you got to use deadly force with a big motherfucker who, at this current juncture, now whatever rage I had for you busting up in on me in the first place is quadruple, because now you've put your hands on me. Two, now you've discovered we got these kids locked the fuck up. You can't leave here because otherwise we're going to jail.
Yeah.
So got to put you down. Can't leave the kids there with you alive because now that leaves way for him and the wife to further abuse Amber and the other kids, because now your uncle done showed up here fucking shit up to the other dungeon to y'all. Who knows who had that baby? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, whose baby was that?
Is
Yeah,
these the parents' babies? Is these one of these kids' babies? You know what I'm saying? They're locked up. Not only did the wife try to get busy, you got to go too. What are you going to do? Marvin had to kill them people. Now,
fair.
even though Amber might hold her mouth till the dust settles, we don't know about them other kids.
Was there how many other kids were in that room? I was trying to look. I know there
I,
was a baby, and I thought there might have been one or
I
two
think there
more.
was one or two other girls.
Yeah, messed up, man. But I guess if they might be traumatized to the point where they don't even talk. Who knows? I don't know. That
Right?
might fucked up. White dude with tattoos. Stick to the story, kids.
That's it.
We'll see what happens when Marvin comes back when the dust settles. I mean, Marvin's not adopting any of these kids. Like
No,
maybe,
nobody would give them.
yeah, maybe the feel good story is they find a better home. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Marvin's last good deed before he gets up out of here. Um,
I'm not going. Marvin is not dying at the end of the episode. He's not dying at the end of the season.
I gotta
I'm
laugh
not
and stop
going.
from crying, Rachel. I gotta get myself prepared
I'm
for it,
not
so it's not a
going.
big of a shock.
I'm not going because
I
Rock
mean,
loves her brother.
yeah, Rock does love her brother, but Rock can't stop all. Speaking of Rock and Marvin,
Stefano was definitely trying to get Rock to kill Marvin.
yeah. So perfect transition.
Yeah.
Stefano's on Marvin's head.
Mm-hmm.
He asked to bend Rock's ear alone.
Yeah.
In that time, we find out what Stefano was told by early, which
Mm-hmm.
is he went to Marvin. Marvin told him this. Marvin lied about it. Rock, of course, being Rock, you can't believe anything that nigga say. Early
Mm-hmm.
can't be trusted. I don't know. I got that intuition. He didn't strike me as someone who was just lying about it, especially
Yeah.
coming to me with this information. I don't know. I just think that your brother fouled. Not to mention, he came to me not too long ago saying, we should take you out. You should step to the side. He should hit
Crazy.
your spot, which is
Crazy.
insane because Stefano's the one that brought it to him. But
And Marvin stepped just like Rock did.
Marvin stepped just like Rock did. But similar to what we said last week about Rock, when you do enough dirt and it becomes part of your name,
Mm-hmm.
it's easier to believe shit.
Yeah.
But Stefano immediately says, yeah, you don't believe it the same way you
You ain't
didn't
believe we
believe
had
that
some
me and him
ties.
had some business on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Now there's a little bit of doubt. And that's all Stefano needs. And he relates to it. That's what he's in the position he is for a reason.
Shout out to evil Tony Danza.
Shout out to Evil Tony Danza, man. And when we're up here, when we're this high, it's hard. Like the easiest thing to miss are the things that are right at our feet.
Mm-hmm.
Your brother foul. He talking greasy about you. We know it's not true. Deception is the name of this game.
For
Snapping
sure.
pops, Evil Tony Danza. All of this coming to a head. They're turning against each other, trying to turn the Thomases
Mm-hmm.
Against each other. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So Rock doesn't gonna bite. I don't think she is, but she's definitely got to keep her eye on it.
She's got to keep her eye on it, and it's very interesting that as we move from this at the end of the episode that she has Lou with her and not Marvin.
Nigga, I told you that. I told you that. Lou got to be on tilt
Yeah,
because it's his
man.
time. It's his time. And I think the one thing that's going to stick with Rock the most, which is what she knows is true about Marvin.
Mm-hmm.
One time a mistake, two times a trend.
Yeah. Rock already know that it's a trend. Stefano was the only one who ain't know.
Exactly, which makes her believe it. Like, damn, this is some shit that he would do.
Yeah.
If it's believable enough, that's all you need. That's all you need. I can believe the story about Marvin, even if it's not true. I can believe it.
Yeah.
And that's the curse of being Marvin. That's the curse of fucking up so many times.
Mm.
No matter how much good you do, you have to kind of have a perfect streak.
Yeah.
in order for the bullshit to escape you. So I don't know. But the same way, like I said, Snap and Pop got Kanan thinking away. Stefano's using this to his advantage, and we'll see how this turns up, which leads to, as you mentioned, Rock and Lou.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
before we get there, Lou's got some other business that he needs to tend to.
For sure.
Rachel, you were very explicit about questioning who Imani is.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What's her role? Where does she stand? Maybe not police the way we were talking, but she definitely police.
But she's definitely police. Yeah,
Citizen
man.
police, for sure.
Um, shout out to Lou again. A different Lou. Glad he's seeing clearly now that the rain is gone. Lulu is getting questioned for Kiana and Julius's murders. We checked their weapons that they had on them. This is also the murder or the weapon from the robbery at Lowe's. Did y'all have something to do with that? Lou, like any nigga who's been in the life, obviously says absolutely not. I was gone. I was at her crib. Blindsided her. She didn't even know she was about to be an alibi, but here we are. And she doesn't really cover.
At all.
I didn't look at a clock. Yeah. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
Not a down ass chick.
Not at
Got
all.
got it. We see Imani pull up to Cheryl's bar while she and
Cafe Boo.
Cafe Vu, as she and Lou are having just a good heart to heart that we've seen them have over the course of the season, especially with his sobriety. She comes in, does not class up the joint, but whatever. Um, and she essentially says, I didn't know that you were going to make me an accomplice.
Smartly, Lou's response, accomplice to what? Once again, I didn't do anything.
I didn't do shit. I don't know what you had to do with this little shit. I don't want to work with you. This shit is done. It's over. Here's the thing. You knew he was a street nigga. Even if you don't want to be an accomplice, obviously, like nigga, I'm not your alibi, not in this capacity. Howsoever, if you cared about the work, you could still do the work, no?
You can definitely do the work and just say, I'm not fucking with you in that white. Like, that's too much for me.
Uh-huh.
We can make great music together outside of the bedroom, and we can stick to doing that and keep that shit professional. You came in as a professional, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, because we had a little thing going, you can't separate the two. That's a little weird.
It was, but I don't know. I'm talking shit because in the lowest of keys, like nigga, if you're getting investigated for some murders, keep your ass all the way the fuck away from me. I don't want no parts of that. I don't want to get touched, even if I obviously have nothing to do with it. But you done came over here. Now they looking at me. She might fuck around and end up like Crystal behind some bullshit that you got going on.
You're right. You're right. However, if I'm looking at this from Lou's point of view,
Uh-huh.
not my point of view, but
Mm-hmm.
I have sense. I'm not a street nigga.
Yeah.
But if I am Lou, the way you keep pressing me
Mm-hmm.
about what are we doing,
Mm-hmm.
about this involves talking,
Mm-hmm.
this involves sharing. I thought you knew what time it was, to your point, Rachel, and I thought you was ready for all of this.
Yeah.
Because you're the one pressing me
Mm-hmm.
about what is this? You know what I mean? Do you have any other jobs? We know you like to put in work, night shift,
Yeah.
whatever the case was.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're ready for some me and my girlfriend shit. Us against the world.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool to bring you in, because we find out when she does pull up a Cafe Bouge, we find out that he's the one that asked her to sit in.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she thought it was on some business shit, like for the
Mm-hmm.
protection of the label, when really it was to make her an alibi.
Yeah.
And I do get it. Like, you might want to spring this on me earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That might contradict what I just said about Lou. As far as like Imani being the one that brought this to him, well, it's also your responsibility to make sure she's not blindsided. So that is something that you don't want somebody to be on the spot with.
Yeah.
I need to know. Matter of fact, as I'm thinking about this in real time, I need to know that you can hold it down, because if it goes left, it's gonna go bad for me.
It's gonna go bad.
You could snitch. You could really be on some. I don't know what are you talking about. I wasn't here. You played it cool in that instance, but you really didn't help because you said I wasn't looking at the clock. It wasn't
Right.
definitive. So yeah, Lou kind of gets a little bit of the blame for it, but communication is the biggest name of the game. He thought she was more down than what she was. She never said I was that down. I just want to fuck with you. I'm thinking Imani's thinking I'm fucking with Lou, the music executive, not Lou, the street nigga.
Yeah.
And Lou, like, they one and the same.
They one and the same. It never goes away. And he's not far enough removed. But so that again is what I've been saying. Why are you so thirsty to know this man, to be close to him, to be so intimate with him when you don't know shit? You've done all this investigating. But what? You didn't come back with much. And it's unfortunate. So she even went to Lowe, said, I don't want to work with him. It's a wrap. Shout out to Lowe. Lou quits. I think Lowe was gonna try to keep him on. He wasn't gonna fire him in that meeting.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. Lou said I'm a street nigga who do street nigga shit. I'm out of here.
And he said it's not gonna pay you. It depends on what kind of street, or
Yeah, Lowe definitely wasn't gonna fire.
He wasn't. He
Lou.
wasn't.
He just wanted some, understandably so. Like, nigga, I know what happened to Crown.
Mm-hmm.
I know that 2 guys got shot outside my studio. I know that the cops searched them for guns.
Mm-hmm.
They found those guns to be related to the robbery of my crib.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how these dots are connected,
but they are.
But it's weird, and I don't want no bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, your reputation precedes you. Had you not had that bullshit happen at your last label, I wouldn't be asking.
I wouldn't be asking you.
But since I know that happened, and none of this shit happened before you got here, and before you brought Rilla out of jail, I'm letting you know I got to be extra cautious about it. Not to mention, my top PR person no longer wants to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not telling me why. Red flags. So,
it's unfortunate. I'm glad Lou quit, but I did want him to do something. I understand the soliloquy he had with Rock. Like, I can't save nobody's life from behind a soundboard. I can't protect y'all. I can't protect Kanan and Juke, this and the third. But I really, really would have liked for Lou to be able to do both at some point.
Well, I echoed his sentiment when he was talking to Rilla.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to Rilla and told him, like, man, the one regret that I'm going to have is that we weren't able to finish what we started together, because I do think you have talent. And Rilla is on the other side of it. Listen, you made these promises to me. You know the position I'm in. You know I got to take care of my daughter.
I want to hear that, though.
Who? If you Rilla?
If I'm
Lou? Yeah.
I don't want to hear that. I hear what you're saying, but this is your fault.
And I got you out of jail. But 100% what you're saying, Rachel. This wouldn't happen without you.
Yeah, I got you out of jail. I got you that second advance that you needed so bad when you got out of jail. I put you up in my home. You knowingly went into some bullshit that you knew could jeopardize your future, fucking with Kenyatta and them. I had to clean up your mess. Juke ain't nothing, not Juke. Be real ain't nothing but Kanan. I got to clean up your mess. Now we all fucked up.
That's real.
Now you are asking me for some work.
Keep me in mind.
Bet. We said that was going to happen.
Said it was going to happen, man. It had to happen. And listen, this is not something I thought I would have said at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Party.
Sure.
Shout out to Party, man. He's He's cool. Like I'm cool with him as a character as the
Mhm.
season keeps going.
Mhm.
I'm not mad at you, really. Rachel, you funny as fuck. Uh,
Bless that.
you talked about Lou meeting with Rock,
Mhm.
and make sure I set this up properly. Um, before we get there, I want to talk about Unique because we're going to end all of this together with the Unique Rock and Lou of
Mhm.
it all. But the one thing we didn't talk about, we mentioned it briefly when Unique went to Phil, and Phil said, "I know it was you that took out the word
David.
that we're not going to say."
Mhm.
That him and Stefano love just throwing around there. But Unique hired two-time NFL MVP Lamar Jackson to take
Mhm.
out David in the bathroom at the club. Obviously, payback to Rock. Fuck they feed y'all New Jersey niggas, New York
New York
niggas.
niggas.
Shout out to Lamar Jackson.
For sure.
But all of this is going on, and that sets the move for Rock because she knows I'm in the middle of it right now. And
Mhm.
Unique is really pressing me. And right at this time, Lou comes to her and pretty much tells her, "I want back in." And she's hesitant. Heard this shit before. It might be lip service.
Yeah.
And Lou goes on this monologue pretty much
Mhm.
about the journey he's had, almost like a spiritual experience,
Mhm.
where all this time I thought I was running from. I was fucked up because of what I was doing. I was fucked up because I liked it too much.
Mhm.
I was fucked up because of what it said about me that I enjoyed this life, that I enjoy putting niggas down, that I enjoy being a dragon slayer.
Mhm.
And Rock being Rock, nigga, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if you just telling that. I don't know if you saying that shit to convince yourself or me.
Yeah.
But I
Uh-huh.
know this: if you need work, I got work for you. If you're ready to tool up, let's tool up. What do you think about Lou's speech and his realization that he's really about this life? He's really a Thomas at heart, and he's ready to stop with all the other bullshit. Because he said the music always gonna be there, but this is who I am.
You know, I think that he believes everything that he said. I think that Lou does want to work. I think that he does want the revenge and whatnot for fame and essentially probably the protection for and of his family. I don't buy that you was getting drunk as a skunk, fucked up having nightmares, going to scrap mama house because you enjoyed killing people too much. Your
That's fair.
ass was fucked up. Your ass was fucked up behind the shit. This is before fame.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God you was in rehab when we found or post rehab when fame got put away. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't buy that. It sound good. I'm with Rock. I don't need none of that shit you saying, but if you want to work, it's work here. However, we saw him put down Kenyatta and Julius. We saw that Thomas smile that we only see when something heinous is happening. Um, maybe you do really appreciate being a gangster. Maybe you missed it, but that ain't why you was getting fucked up. Like, let's not conflate the two.
I love how Rock wasn't going for it.
Yeah, because that's some bullshit. You sound dumb as fuck to me right now, but whatever. Get your shit off. I'm gonna need you.
Couldn't have picked a better time. Matter of fact, we are hiring.
As a matter of fact, and here's your apron.
Yeah, straight
We
up.
got some shit to do. Um, I like that he's back. We do know that Lou actually can get busy. We did learn that his name did actually ring in these streets. So we know that he can or it can be or is essentially up to the job and the task at hand.
Not only that, Rachel, Lou presented it like he the one. Like I'm the real shooter of the family. Like I'm the real hitter.
As to which I don't know if that's true. Because we watched you miss several shots of a nigga
that was
having
naked
sex
in
that
the
was
most.
naked and unarmed for the most part. You had a clear shot and you missed.
No, he had most. That was one of the most egregious things that ever happened in Power Universe. So there's a lot of when you get to the end of the original Power, there's a lot of egregious shit happen.
For sure.
Tyreek never having a car for like the first 8 seasons that he was ever a part of the show, and
Hey,
getting all this shit done was egregious. But that close
nigga,
range, missing that nigga who was butt naked,
come on.
wow, some of the most wild shit ever. So
Some of
to
the
your
most
point,
wild
Rachel, yeah.
shit. So I don't know if you the one. It sound good, but right now I need you because there is a war brewing. And whether that is what we see Rock going to Unique at the end of this episode, whether that's us putting bygones aside to go against the Italians, whether that's us drawing up lines and me letting Unique know, nigga, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna need you. Because while I don't know if Marvin is gonna go to glory, we know that his position is not number 2 right now.
So let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Episode ends.
Mm-hmm.
Rock and um
Lou.
Lou, thank you. Rock and Lou go see Unique. The question I have for you, Rachel, is simple. What was the purpose of this meeting? It could be a number of things. I want us to know, what do you think the purpose of this meeting was? Why did she pull up on Unique? What was being said? What do you think when we open up episode 10 next week? What's this conversation going to look like? Because that's exactly where they're opening. They're going to open in this shop with whatever dialogue's happening.
It could be so many things, honestly. I have no idea. Stay away from Kanan. Kanan ain't got shit to do with what we had going on. Uh I I need to tell you once and for all, I didn't have shit to do with trying to get you the fuck out of here. We didn't kill Ronnie. Because again, she doesn't know that Kanan confessed to Unique.
Right.
She could be trying to broker a deal because we know that she is sick of having to go to the Italians. And now she knows Rock is not dumb. Even if there are seeds of doubt in what Stefano said in regards to Marvin trying to come to him about taking her out, she doesn't want to keep having to fuck with them. She knows Unique better than anybody.
Yeah.
Unique is also being held back by Phil. Raquel could be using this to broker. We need to separate from these, their words, Brigatoni motherfuckers, to get our own shit moving. We had a dream, even if it was, we had a plan, you know what I'm saying? Let's implement our shit. I got this work from Hafiz. Yeah, you played in my face. You've been on some bullshit, but it's deeper than rap. And I want to get from up under all of these motherfuckers. And we can do that together. She could go in and kill that nigga. I don't know. Yeah. The tailor checked him and they was clean, but ain't no telling. You know what I'm saying? Who knows?
Yeah. All right. So there's one thing that I think it really is. Mm-hmm. There's another thing I would like it to be. I wouldn't be surprised if the writers find a way to make it happen, but I just don't find it realistic, which would be ultimately, let's put things on pause and let's see if we can get these Italians up out of here.
Okay.
The only thing that I find with that's going to be a real momentous, damn, I can't talk. A momentous issue is going to be that's too big of a machine.
Yeah.
Like Stefano's only a small piece in that machine. You got multiple families to deal with. That's not going to end well for you if that's what you don't have enough manpower. In New Jersey, I don't believe Unique saying me and Rock are united, all our forces against New York. I don't think that's enough motivation for New Jersey to say we're going to go to the mattresses against the 5 families. So maybe a conversation about snapping pops. Who knows? I don't think that's on Rock's radar yet, unless it is. and we don't know. Maybe that conversation, and maybe they can be the new everything comes through us and
Mm-hmm.
Queens type of thing. We can share this work. It makes sense business wise. I need help moving this. I couldn't see Rock partnering with Unique, but
Not
maybe
after
some
all of
kind
this.
of sweet deal when it
Yeah.
comes to moving this work. I'll be the supplier. Maybe we can find out a way to let bygones be bygones. I don't know. I don't know how that looks. But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, what I think this meeting was is similar to Heat in the movie Heat, when you got Pacino and De Niro's character,
Mm-hmm.
when they finally have the infamous coffee shop scene. Like, let me buy you a cup of coffee. And all that scene was we've been feeling each other out for far too long.
Yeah.
We know each other. We know exactly who each other are. If you get in my way, or if we're really gonna take it here, this is what I'm willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm willing to go all the way there. And that happens in battle. There is a moment where normally, whether it's a phone call being made or a meeting that's set up, and it's that final, are you sure
Mm-hmm.
that we want to take it here? Because if this is what this looks like to me, like, nigga, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide everybody, nigga. Because I promise you, if I catch any of them out in the streets, they
It's
fair
up.
game.
Damn. Used to be my dog. You was in my left titty.
And I think that's the final. The good thing about that is maybe there's compromise can be found at that meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a way we can put all this to bed. If you do not see a way for us to put this to rest, then the next time we see each other, there's gonna be bullets flying at each other.
Yeah.
Like, so this is it. I think there was one of those meetings. Like, I don't know how to do anything else, neither do I, as they said in Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what it is. I'm just laying it all out there. I don't know if Rock really came in trying to compromise or make a plan. Hopefully she would. It's not going to surprise me if they do um, maybe conspire against Snapping Pops or something
Mm-hmm.
else happen. But yeah, very symbolic that she had Lou with her. Unique looked like he was waiting on that
For
conversation as
sure.
well, because they both understand what it is.
For sure. And
Um,
each other.
yeah, and each other. And I think that just might be the calm before the storm. I said earlier I thought Unique wasn't going to make it past the season. My opinion has changed. I think that Unique will be in season 5. Snap and Pop not so much. Marvin not so much.
Mm.
Um, yeah, those are going to be the big ones. And I have no idea where it's going to fall with Kanan and Rock.
Yeah.
I for the life of me, I don't understand where the plot twist is going to come to make him understand that it wasn't Rock that did all these bad things, and that's what I'm waiting on.
She's somehow gonna save his life.
I don't think that's enough for him anymore. I don't think he cares about that. She saved his life last season.
Yeah. I
Kanan ain't
don't
shit.
know. He's awful.
Like, we can't expect him to like do the right thing or step up in the moments and recognize when something good's happening to him, because he just isn't built like that. He ain't
It's
shit.
gonna be Juke.
I hope so.
Whatever the discovery, the epiphany is, it's gonna come from Juke for Kanan. It has to, because the reality is, to your point, she is the only hers is the only ear that he has.
Is he so far going to where that ear even matters at the moment? Maybe in the long run, but maybe not
Yeah.
when he.
He'll listen to Juke.
Okay.
She can, even when he bucked up against her, she still can little cousin, little bro him.
That's it, Rachel.
That's
I
it.
don't have anything else. I don't have any predictions outside of
I
what I
don't
just said.
either. I'm
I have no
ready.
idea. I will say this, and I mean this in all seriousness. The similar to our centers conversation. Shout out to the
Mhm.
Culture Garden.
Shout out to Culture Garden.
Um, when you after seeing centers for the first time, that's the feeling. I saw Shea Serrano say this
Mm-hmm.
on Twitter. That's the exact feeling you want to have when you leave a movie theater.
Yeah.
The feeling that you have after watching a movie like Sinners.
Mm-hmm.
This is the exact feeling I want to have going into a season finale. And I can't explain it unless you've been watching it. I think I know we say it every week, Rachel, but I still think we're understating how good a season of television this is.
Yeah, it's really,
This is
really, really good.
phenomenal TV.
It's phenomenal.
And I don't think we're giving it enough credit for that, but I hope that they get all their flowers. I hope we're able to shower it appropriately as we discuss next week. I know they're going to knock it out the park. There's no way we're going to be disappointed
For
with how the
sure.
season ends.
For sure.
And of course, knowing that there's another season, we know there's more breadcrumbs to be laid that's going to have us waiting for another 12 to 18 months for season 5. But with that being said, Rachel, always a pleasure.
Always.
I can do this anytime, talk about TV with you.
For sure.
For all of you out there listening, thank you. We appreciate you. Please remember to subscribe, comment, share. We appreciate y'all sending the comments in. It's been fun reading these on the episode.
Yes.
Give us your thoughts on what you believe is going to happen in this finale. Help Rachel and myself out because we're a little bit stuck on what's going to happen.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But until then, we'll see y'all next week. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool.
Peace out.
Got y'all.
We out early.
I hope Early dies too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got to go. And also, Unique probably is going to reveal that Early is who helped to rehab him.
Oh shit! Real quick before we get out of here, a little bonus material for y'all. Is Kanan never gonna find out that OC was working with Unique?
Yes.
I don't know how that's gonna be revealed. I thought about that, but that's another thing where I'm like, I don't know how the reveal is gonna happen. At that point, he has to tell him himself. Unique has to tell him himself, which he already did a little bit.
He already did. Unique or Kanan has to put his thinking cap on.
Tall task. All right, y'all. We out for real. We got y'all.
All right, bye.